full panic mode in Washington, D.C. The Democrats are terrified. And this time, they're not terrified of jail. They're not terrified of justice. They're not terrified of the investigations. What they are terrified of is Donald Trump fulfilling his promises when it comes to the United States budget, when it comes to Doge and getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. Because imagine this. If Donald Trump actually fulfills his promises to bring down inflation, make everything cheaper, gas prices, food, housing, everything becomes cheaper, our debt and our deficit goes down, the dollar gets more value, what happens to the Democrats? The ones who have been screaming, he doesn't care about regular folk. He doesn't care about us poor people. He only cares about his billionaire friends. What happens to them if Trump actually does the opposite from what they're saying he's going to do? Well, their party is demolished. Their party is destroyed because in the last 2024 presidential election, what did we see? The country moved further to the right than ever in a single election. Every single state, every single county, every single district went right by historic numbers. And Trump is the first president in 20 years as the Republican presidential candidate to win the popular and the electoral college vote. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because what happened last night on the House floor has the Democrats in full swing panic mode. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Do me a huge favor. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed with bell notifications on. And before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the golden age of America, Trump's golden age, which means that now is a great time to get your hands on some physical constitutional gold and silver. Last time Donald Trump was president, gold prices skyrocketed by 51%. Will they do it this time? I don't know. Nothing's a guarantee, but history does tend to repeat itself. Verity Metals is the sponsor of today's video, and they are a patriot, Trump-supporting family-owned gold, silver, and precious metal IRA firm, and they will be more than happy to give you up to $500 in free silver on qualifying orders when you call or text 480-717-9081. Mention VLAD. Links are down below in the description. Let's continue. Here's what I want to show you. There's two things I want to talk about in this video. First things first. Breaking down the GOP past fiscal year 2025 spending bill. Where the money goes. Education, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. If you turned on any liberal podcaster this morning or last night, if you turned on mainstream news media today, if you went onto the Twitter page of any Democratic leader, you're going to hear they're cutting Medicaid. They're giving millionaires and billionaires tax breaks. No, they are lying. They are freaking out. You know what's in this bill? Actually, more money for education, more money for Medicaid, medical, and Social Security, more money to take care of our seniors. I actually went through the whole bill. I don't want to bore you with it, but here's what's in there. There's more money for schools. There's more money for our elderly. There's more money for our seniors, more money for our veterans, more money for us. You know where the cuts are? There's no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for seniors. And listen to this. Every single Democrat voted no last night. Every single Democrat voted no tax on tips. Every single Democrat voted no tax on overtime. Remember Kamala Harris? She started, because she copies everyone, she started copying Donald Trump. And she said, I'm going to give you no tax on tips. If she were to win this election, you wouldn't get your no tax on tips because every single Democrat voted against no tax on tips. Every single Democrat voted against no taxation of overtime. Every Democrat voted against no taxing Social Security of seniors. And now, here's another. Hakeem Jeffries this morning was on CNN going, you could see the fear in his eyes. Oh, there's all these tax cuts for the rich, but they're going to tax the middle class more. But he was giving no substance. There was no facts in his argument. Excuse me. So he was sitting there freaking out. You know why? Because when this goes through and when this is passed into law and the minorities in inner cities who work at restaurants and work a lot of overtime and most of their money's from tips start seeing those big paychecks and start asking questions, we, the Republicans, the Trump supporter MAGA, we have receipts to show them. Democrats didn't do that for you. They actually wanted to tax you. They actually wanted to tax you. You tax your tips, tax your overtime. When their elderly parents or grandparents get that Social Security check at the end of the month, once this is in law, and they look at it, they're going to be like, wow, why is there more money on here? We have receipts to show that the Democrats had nothing to do with it, that it was the Republicans, the Trump supporters, and this is what Trump wanted. But ladies and gentlemen, and now they're freaking out. They are terrified because their party, right? They talk about caring for the middle class and the poor people of this country. Who was it that gave the tie-breaking vote in the Senate to hire 80,000 brand new IRS agents and give them unlimited power and give them guns on their hips to go and hunt down the poor people that forgot to pay $100 on their taxes? It was the Democrats, and Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote. If you're a Democrat and you're watching this, go fact check me on this. But not only that, there's two ways the Democrat Party is crumbling. Number one is the conservatives are doing they are working for the American people. But two, we need to get on our election system. We need it to be fixed. And in the state of Ohio and in the state of Arizona, my state, massive moves are being made to clean and secure our election systems. Fighting election fraud. Big update. 20 Ohio counties launch investigations into suspicious progressive group that allegedly turned in piles of phony voter registrations. So we have that happening in Ohio. And here in the state of Arizona, our new state Senate has launched a full-scale audit of how the Maricopa County elections are run. And you know who's helping them? The election supervisors from Florida. Because if we remember, just a couple decades ago, Florida had the worst elections in the nation. They were horrible. Now they have easily the best. They have they have millions of people that vote, but they're done by 9:30. You know who the winner is? Everything's done, counted, everyone goes home and gets to sleep. Not in Arizona. Takes us, 9 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, so we are just moving forward. We are making gains. We are moving forward. And with this resolution bill, with this new spending bill, by the way, there's, I believe, let me see. If I'm not mistaken, there's tens of billions of dollars that are cut from spending compared to last year. So with this spending bill, we are actually not going to have to borrow any new money because Doge is saving so much money. We're not borrowing any new money for this new spending bill. And we are still no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security. And everybody gets a huge tax break. Everybody, except if you are a multi-billionaire and you own a sports company. You know who pissed off Elon. This was Elon's idea. Ladies and gentlemen, we're winning. We're moving forward. We're taking our country back. We're winning more voters than ever. And we're making America great again. Do me a favor, give the video a thumbs up. God bless you guys. See you on the next one.